The summons arrived at dawn, carried not by courier or signal drone, but by silence. Every screen in my quarters went dark at once. The ambient hum of the orbital city paused, as if the station itself were holding its breath. Then a single line of text appeared in the air before me, glowing with the unmistakable crimson sigil of the imperial court. Report to the palace. Immediately. No explanation. No signature. Only one authority used that seal. The Empress of Valaris. I stood frozen, my pulse pounding so loudly I was sure the walls could hear it. For 3 cycles, I had lived a life balanced on a secret, one that was never meant to leave the shadows of whispered corridors and private chambers. And now, somehow, it had reached the throne. I dressed mechanically, hands shaking as I fastened my uniform. Outside my window, the capital world stretched endlessly beneath the palace spires, oceans of light reflecting off crystalline towers. It was beautiful.
It was terrifying.
I had known this day might come. I just hadn't expected to survive it. I was not a noble. I was not a soldier of rank. I was an interspecies cultural attaché, stationed at Valaris to help ease diplomatic integration between humans and the Aurelian Dominion. My role was deliberately small: observe, translate, advise, and never attract attention. That rule shattered the night I met Princess Ilyara. She was nothing like the legends painted across the empire. No arrogance. No cruelty. Just curiosity sharp enough to pierce armor and kindness that felt almost dangerous in a royal court built on calculation. Our first conversation lasted 6 hours. Our second ended with laughter echoing through a restricted garden no one had used in decades. Somewhere between those moments, the universe made a mistake. We fell in love. We were careful. Too careful. Private corridors, shielded chambers, stolen hours between obligations. We knew the cost if discovered. The Empress ruled with measured mercy, but betrayal of dynastic expectation was another matter entirely. Still, secrets decay. And secrets, like gravity, always pull inward. The palace gates opened without resistance. Guards escorted me through halls older than my species' written history, walls alive with bioluminescent murals depicting the lineage of empresses stretching back millennia. Every step felt like a countdown. They brought me to the Hall of Judgment. The doors parted. The Empress waited alone. She sat upon no throne. Instead, she stood before a vast window, hands folded behind her back, gazing out at the city she ruled. Her presence bent the air, tall, composed, her silver-gold skin etched with faint luminescent markings that shifted subtly with her thoughts. She did not turn when I entered. "You know why you are here," she said. It wasn't a question. "Yes, your radiance," I replied, voice tight. She finally faced me. Her eyes, ancient, sharp, unreadable, searched my face as if peeling away every layer I had ever hidden behind. "My daughter trusts you," she said. The words cut deeper than any accusation. "I never intended to dishonor her," I said. "Or you." "Intent," the Empress replied calmly, "is irrelevant when consequences ripple across empires." She gestured, and a holographic lattice bloomed between us. Surveillance fragments, energy signatures, probability analyses. Evidence not of our love, but of its impact. "Your bond has altered her projected path," the Empress said. "In 37 futures, Princess Ilyara abdicates. In 22, she fractures the court. In 9, she dies." My breath caught. "Because of me?" "Because of choice," the Empress corrected. She stepped closer. "And now," she said, "the secret has reached me. I expected condemnation, exile, execution, erasure. Instead, The Empress surprised me. She sat. "Tell me," she said, "why you love her." The question stunned me more than the summons. "Because she listens," I said slowly. "Because she questions what she's told. Because when she looks at the stars, she doesn't see territory, she sees wonder." The Empress watched me without blinking. "And you?" she asked. "What does she see in you?" I swallowed. "Someone who doesn't need her to be a symbol." Silence stretched. Then the Empress exhaled, a long, controlled breath that carried centuries of restraint. "I once loved someone like that," she said quietly. The admission hung heavy in the air. "He was not of our kind," she continued. "He reminded me I was more than a crown." I dared not speak. "I chose duty," she said, "and built an empire strong enough to bury regret." She met my gaze again, eyes burning now not with anger, but with conflict. "My daughter will not inherit a hollow throne," the Empress said, "nor will I allow her to be destroyed by sentiment." She stood. "You will remain here," she said, "until I decide which future deserves to exist." Days passed inside the palace, each one heavier than the last. I was confined but not mistreated. Servants brought meals. Guards stood watch. And every night, Ilyara found a way to reach me, messages hidden in light pulses, glances across council chambers, brief moments where her hand brushed mine and reminded me I was still real. On the 7th night, the Empress summoned us both. Mother and daughter stood across from each other, centuries of expectation compressed into a single space. "You have broken no law," the Empress said to Ilyara, "but you have challenged tradition." "I challenge stagnation," Ilyara replied steadily. The Empress turned to me. "You have endangered the line of succession." "I would die before harming her," I said. "I know," the Empress said. That was the problem. She raised her hand, and the chamber darkened. A living construct emerged, an ancient imperial intelligence used only in moments of existential decision. It projected futures like cascading mirrors. "This system," the Empress said, "was designed to preserve our dominion. It offers certainty." Ilyara clenched her fists. "At the cost of choice." The Empress hesitated. Then she did something no ruler of Valaris had done before. She turned the system off. The futures vanished.
Certainty dissolved.
The room felt suddenly fragile. "I will not rule by inevitability," the Empress declared. "Nor will I bind my daughter's life to a destiny she did not choose." She looked at us both. "This secret reached me," she said, "and instead of destroying it, I will transform it." The announcement shook the empire. The Empress declared reforms, opening succession laws, allowing unions beyond species, dismantling predictive governance in favor of council deliberation. Resistance was immediate. So was hope. Some nobles called it weakness. Others called it evolution. As for me, I was stripped of anonymity and thrust into scrutiny I had never wanted. But Ilyara stood beside me, unafraid, resolute. On the day the reforms were ratified, the Empress summoned me one final time. "You may stay," she said, "or you may leave. Your presence will always be disruptive." I smiled faintly. "Then I suppose I should stay." She studied me, then nodded once. "Protect her," the Empress said. "Not as a guard. Not as a symbol. As a person," I replied. She turned back to the window. Then the secret was worth reaching me after all. Years later, history would record that the Valerian Empire changed course not through war or prophecy, but through love discovered and truth revealed. And whenever someone asks how it began, I think back to that dawn, that message, that fear. Because the secret that reached the Empress didn't destroy us. It taught an empire how to choose.